Hey guys, this is the next episode of my XR Weekly News. We are in week 11, 2026. So, yeah. Weather is it changes all the time. Like here we have, it started with 16 degrees Celsius and Friday like something like 7 and also a little bit of rain. So, yeah, it seems like it's a little bit better VR weather than last week. But still, of course, yeah, people are happy to go outside now, and time runs so fast. Like I was happy about winter and now it's starting to get hot again. It's crazy how fast that is. So guys, everything about XR hardware, games releases and sales. Let's have some fun with the video and let's go.
VoodooDE.
So guys, very interesting. Meta is doing an operating system upgrade. We already learned that Meta is not focusing on developing or supporting game development anymore, but developing hardware and their operating system, Horizon OS. And now they will implement frame sync. What is frame sync? It's the successor of phase sync. Yeah. So there's the VR headset has a refresh rate like 72, 90 hertz, and the chip of the headset calculates the single picture, like frames per second. And this phase sync that calculated that the single image that is rendered will be on spot with the display update, like 72 hertz or something, 90 hertz. So that was the task of phase sync. And now frame sync, it's the same, but now it's more intelligent. It can predict better how long the hardware needs for a picture. And for example, with the old system, when you sometimes look very fast in somewhere where there's a lot of details, you get stutters or judders or something like that. And frame sync does that better. So we have less stutters and so on. And also the motion to photon latency. So yeah, the latency between your real movement and the picture inside the headset will be minimized, and so the tracking is much more with a better reaction, and also of course this reduces motion sickness because every stutter, every judder has potential of causing motion sickness, and this is really nice that Meta is implementing that. So developers have now access to that feature and can use that, and in the future, or in the near future, all the Horizon OS apps will support that. And that's really good. So guys, think about a Meta, we are talking about standalone, of course, MetaQuest standalone games. If you remember which games you seen that had a lot of stutters or judders or so, write it in the comments below and then we can compare it, so the difference. So the announcement was a month ago, but now Jason Rubin has left Meta. He's the game's executive. He's one of the most important guys that's relevant for games, for bringing the people together for games, coordinating everything. And he also worked for big companies like Naughty Dog or THQ or so. And then I think 2014 he went to Oculus and then of course Meta. And now he left. And he himself says he left the company because he wanted to focus on chasing animals with a camera. He also linked his Instagram. So if you're interested, I will put the link in the description. I mean, is that the only reason? Like exactly now where Meta is not focusing on developing games or supporting development of games anymore, then he leaves? I'm not sure. I don't believe anything these times, right? But However, I mean, this guy is nice. I met him years ago. I think at the on the when the Rift S was announced, and I tried that. I think that was the time. He's a nice guy, and I wish him all the best. And I really hope that Meta is like any time in the future focusing on games again. But yeah, let them do their thing now. Let them develop a nice Quest 4 and a nice operating system, so that at least the indie developers can create good games for the platform. Steam Frame news, guys, very important. So the last news were not so good because Steam Frame was delayed because of the high hardware prices, and now they found out that so Valve told the developers how they can get the Steam Frame verified badge. So this is a badge that tells people this game will definitely run very good on Steam Frame. So how does it work? So Steam Frame can also show 2D content, like on a really huge floating like a screen in front of you, like a cinema, that you can play 2D games. And those games need at least a resolution of 1280 by 720 at 30 frames per second. This is not much, but enough for a flat game on a huge screen. But of course, for VR, you cannot play a VR game with 30 frames per second. You will get instant sick, or at least most of the people. So for standalone VR titles on Steam Frame, we need 90 frames per second, Valve says. And that's interesting because the minimum refresh rate is 72 Hertz, but still they want 90 frames per second. But then, we can definitely say with 90 frames per second, absolutely no motion sickness and things. Also, for the verified badge, the games need fully support for the Steam Frame controllers. And look at the Steam Frame controllers, they have like, I would just say there is an Xbox controller integrated. We have this here and this here, and this is different to the Meta Quest controllers. So perhaps the developers have to change a little bit of their controller support things, but I think that's doable, and then they will get a badge. Of course, this will only be tested for standalone play. PCVR is different, of course. And of course, we need a legible user interface, so a user interface that makes sense in the game, that you can control very good with the Steam Frame controllers. And here's like a workflow how the frame is tested. So, for example, if Steam Deck is unsupported for a game because of the performance, then of course Steam Frame is also unsupported. But perhaps if it's playable on Steam Deck, then they will test it for Steam Frame as well. Very interesting, and hopefully we will see Steam Frame soon. So in the Steam database, look at this, they changed it from, I think, 2026 or something to coming soon. I mean, I have no idea what that means. It can be next week or in 2 years. That's we have so many games or so on Steam that says coming soon since years, so no idea. But I really hope it will be soon, and I'm looking forward to that. And now, when we see that again, so what happens when Valve brings Half-Life Alyx to standalone? Is that even possible? I mean, of course, you have to reduce the graphics, and then it has to reach 90 frames per second. If this would be possible, this would be a blast. This would be a blast. Many people would buy it, but we don't know. So, Luke Ross mods. So, perhaps you've seen that there was a takedown by a CD Projekt Red. I think so, right? And because of the Cyberpunk mod of Luke Ross, and he had to take it down, and now it's online again. But also not the Cyberpunk, but all the other real VR mods, they are for free now. So here in this article, there's a setup guide, download the zip and things, and here you can just click it and download it for free. Before that, it was behind the paywall. It's still for the early access features are still behind a paywall, but now you can, at least, if you ever wanted to play these real VR mods by Luke Ross and it was too expensive for you, you can just download it for free now. I'm not sure if Cyberpunk will get into the list again. I think CD Projekt Red told him if he doesn't take money, it's okay for them. So perhaps he's talking with them and then managed to bring that back. So have an eye on that and try it out. Weekly survey. Yeah, guys, so last week there was not a multiple choice or something. I just asked you a question and you should write comments. So the question was, what is your favorite PCVR mod for PC games that do not support VR? And yeah, there is a lot of comments. So many people write things here. For example, Ready or Not VR, really great. SnowRunner in VR, High on Life, Ace Combat, Bendy and the Ink Machine mod. I don't even know that. Cool. Firewatch. Oh yeah, that was really good. Outer Wilds. Cyberpunk, of course. Little Nightmares. Prey Dogs. Yeah, Unreal Engine Injector. Oh yeah. And Resident Evil, yeah. But Unreal Engine Injector is wasn't it not from Prey Dog? Was it? It was. Yeah. There's a lot of VR mods. Yeah, Unreal Engine Injector, of course, because there is like so much things you can do and so on. Star Citizen. Oh yes, Star Citizen. I don't even think it's a mod. I think it's native implemented, right? Is it? I think so. Now in the public version, there are Alien Isolation, of course. Half-Life, of course. There's nice. Wow, here's a lot of the Far Cry Primal. Oh, RoboCop, Hogwarts Legacy. I also tried that. Really nice. Atomic Heart. Absolutely. Far Cry 5. Cloudpunk, Resident Evil. Look at this, guys. That's so nice. Mother mod, of course. Did you try the Grandmother VR mod for Alien Isolation? This is a newer one. Underworld City. Cool. Thank you so much, guys, for the comments. Perhaps there is something you didn't know or I didn't know, and then I can try it. This is really interesting. So now for the news survey for this week. So in one of the last weeks, I asked you, how do you play VR? Like sitting, standing, lying, or whatever. And now I want to know, where do you usually play VR? So do you have a dedicated VR room, a man cave? Of course, this would be the best if you have that. Then select this. Do you play it in a living room? Like, for example, in front of your TV, but you have to remove the desk a little bit or put something in front of the TV so you don't slam it, right? Or do you play VR in a small office in your workroom or in front of your desk or so? This is also what I do sometimes. Or do you play it anywhere where there is play? So you walk around and see, oh yeah, there in the garage I can play, or here in the garden, or in this chamber here, or whatever. Then choose this. Yeah, this is interesting. I'm really looking forward to the results. So in the description there is the link to the survey, also in the first pinned comment. So as many people as possible, please participate, because it's very interesting. And let's check out the releases. Not much this week. So as always, 10% off every MetaQuest game with my coupon code VoodooDE. Here we have on Meta Club Fight. Yeah, you can slam and smash all the enemies or other people in a club. And then on Steam, we have Splasm. This is I would say you shoot monsters in the rhythm of the music, and it also has a lot of dark humor. And then we have Dark Ride, Sweet Dreams. This is it's like a slow roller coaster in a spooky, cozy, but still cozy environment. And then we have a Forest Construction VR. So if you ever wanted to work in a forest, you can do that in VR now. And then we have Bootstrap Island in the final release version. It got a huge update, and this is one of the best VR games I played in the last months. Really nice survival adventure. And on PlayStation VR 2 we have Parkour Labs. Yeah, this is a very crazy futuristic parkour game. This were the releases this week. Okay guys, and let's check out the sales. So there's a Steam, not a Steam, a Quest sale where you can find a lot of games off and some packages and so on. To go through all that, this would be just too much. So please check out your wish list and also the store. And also go on my homepage, VoodooDE-VR.com. You find the link to the sale there. And there's a lot of cool things. So check out your favorite games if they are on sale. And otherwise, if it's not on sale, save 10% with my coupon code VoodooDE. And then on Steam, we have The Last Clockwinder. This is like a really nice puzzle adventure. You get it 70% off. Serious Sam VR franchise is on sale. And for example, The Last Hope is 85% off. This is really brutal and a lot of shooting and so on. And then we have Paper Beast, a really nice relaxing adventure game. 90% off, and The Fisherman's Tale, also a nice puzzle adventure, 75% off. On the PlayStation VR 2 we have Gorn, a very brutal melee fighting game, 70% off, and Hubris, nice looking action adventure, 75% off. So guys, please in the description participate in the survey, and please also consider to get channel member. You get behind the scenes videos, early access to videos, WhatsApp VIP, autogram cards, and all that things. So check it out in the description. Thank you for watching. Give me a thumbs up, subscribe, hit the bell, and see you next time in virtual reality. See ya.
VoodooDE